Welcome. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are live. Make sure you can hear me and see me real quick. Welcome. So good to see everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll check the chat real quick and make sure you can see me and hear me, more importantly. Hashtag mute button. I think I'm good. You can hear me, right? Let me make sure. Sounds good. All right. Thank you. Yeah, finally figured out the issue with my mute button. It actually wasn't an issue. So for those of you who join me each week, no, I struggle with my mute button as I get started. Well, turns out I set an automation a while back and forgot about it. So I had it automated to automatically switch over off of mute when the countdown is over. And so I'd be good to go. Well, I forgot I made that automation. So I was always hitting the mute button over here. Anyways, I'm an idiot. That's what it was. I'm too smart for my own good, I guess. I created an automation so I wouldn't have to do it. And then I did it anyways, undoing the automation. So anyways, how you guys doing? Y'all having a good week? I am a bit tired. It's been a long week. I've been just kind of around the clock, working as much as I can, catching up. There was a big hurricane, some of you guys know, that hit the southeast. So first of all, I just want to say to anybody who has been affected, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those who have been affected by this storm. It's been really rough on many parts of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. I live in South Carolina. Some of you probably know. And yeah, we lost power for a while. So that's, why I've been kind of behind this week, just trying to catch up from everything that, the delays and stuff that happened because of that. Kids were out of school for a few days. In fact, they just went back today. Fortunately, our power was restored after about a day. I think it was close to 12 hours. We didn't have power personally. I have family members who didn't have power for multiple days, and I know of people not too far who have, still don't have power. So it's been pretty bad, but yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who is still dealing with that or maybe knows somebody dealing with that. With that said, let's jump in the chat and say hi to some folks really quick. John Wolf, Trent, what's up, Trent? George Langabeer, hope you're doing well. Jeff from Michigan, what's up, Jeff? I got my mute button worked out today. Edgar, what's up, Edgar from Edgar's Home Tech? Yeah, I need an automation to remind me that I did an automation, right? Yeah, that would be maybe a notification or something, right? Healthy Perspective. Brian, what's up, Brian? Frederick, how you guys doing? Hope y'all are having a good week so far. If you're new here, or maybe this is your first live stream, welcome. We're just going to hang out and casually just chill and talk about smart home stuff for the next hour. So I got a few things in the news and new products and stuff coming out we can talk about today. But we're going to do, today I think is going to be a lot of Q&A. So it'll be kind of heavy on the Q&A. So if you have a question, go ahead and drop questions, as I'm kind of talking. And I'm going to flag those questions and come back to them definitely in the last half of this stream today. So you only, try to only ask once, and then I'll start answering questions here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and jump into a couple of things that are new that I noticed. Let's see if my screen share here is working. Yep, so Eufy, you may have seen this. Eufy is back into HomeKit. So I was pretty surprised to see this. Eufy has kind of like abandoned HomeKit, it seemed like, for years. I think their last HomeKit product was around 2020, around 2020, something like that. It's been a number of years. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong on that date, but it's been years since they've had a camera that supports HomeKit. Well, they now have announced this Eufy Cam S3 Pro. So, and it does support HomeKit, as you can see right there, HomeKit Secure Video. So really cool to see this. I haven't tried this one yet personally. I know there are a bunch of videos out there floating around already on these. If you're interested, George, I saw that George posted a video. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet, but I know George Langerbeer, who's here in the chat, has a video on this. Let's see. So we got some questions. Let me try to flag these questions. Thank you guys also for prefacing your comment with the word question. That does help me in noticing it, and I will flag those. George says, I'm looking forward to trying the Aqara camera. Oh, yeah, I know. Me too. The G5? Is it called the G? What'd they call that one? G5, I think. Yeah, the outdoor Aqara camera. It's only been announced. We don't know when that one's coming, but excited to try that one for sure. Healthy perspective. George is the man. I agree with you 100%. George is the man. Love his content. Y'all go check out George Langerbeer's YouTube channel if you haven't already. Yeah, I agree with that. Apple needs to do better than 1080p. Yeah, I can't argue with that. So that's one of those things I keep hoping to see, you know, each year, and it just doesn't happen. So a camera like this, let's talk about this camera a little bit. So as you can see right here, 4K, you know, that's awesome. But if you do kind of port this into HomeKit or expose this camera to HomeKit, it will be reduced down to 1080p because HomeKit only supports up to 1080p, which, you know, is unfortunate. But this thing can do like local recording, and I think the night vision is something they're really proud of on this one. So you can see there's different ways to do night vision here. So they've got this adaptive spotlight. Of course, the typical IR night vision, but they've got like full color night vision, which is really nice. Solar panel built into the top. So that's like some of the other Eufy Cam models and designs, but none of the HomeKit ones have had the solar panel built in that I'm aware of. And it also does come with an external solar panel, excuse me, in case, you know, it's under ease or something like that, which I assume would be pretty common. Let's see. And another thing. All right, had to mute you. I got something stuck in my throat. Excuse me. Yeah, so something else that they are really proud of and looks pretty awesome is this new like motion detection. So if you've used a lot of outdoor cameras, sometimes they go crazy with motion alerts, leaves blowing and stuff like that. Well, this one has a dual motion detection system combining radar and PIR for just better like motion notifications. So that will be nice. Again, haven't tried this one myself. Looking forward to watching George's videos and some other videos out there on these. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you excited about Eufy bringing back HomeKit support? Like I said, I was kind of surprised to see that. I thought they left HomeKit in the dust, but looks like some pretty great cameras. I know I used the Eufy Cam 2 Pro cameras for quite a while around the exterior of my house. Those were some of the last ones that did support HomeKit from Eufy, and I stopped using those when I kind of redid all my exterior cameras to PoE cameras, but I did use those for quite a while. Let's see. Lone Star Trent, I'm close to buying that PoE doorbell from Reolink. Yeah, I actually have the PoE, or I have a Reolink doorbell. I want to try. I don't have PoE at my doorbell, but I'm thinking about trying out the Reolink doorbell as well. All right, some questions are really rolling in. All right, so I'm gonna save all your questions. I appreciate these guys. Do just be patient, hang out. I'm gonna come back to all the questions. Oh, Alex said the full color night vision looked horrible in George's video. Interesting. Like I said, I haven't watched that yet, so I'll have to check that out. I've seen only one or two cameras who have done like some type of color night vision, but they usually require a light, so I don't think that one does. I'll have to check it out. Eric, Modern Day Tech, what's up? Eric's in the house. Love having Eufy back with Apple Home, but low light was not good enough for me. So Eric also has a video on these new cameras. So very cool. I still like the black and white infrared a heck of a lot better. Wow. All right. So there you go. Good to know. So definitely check out Eric, Modern Day Tech, also on YouTube. And if you're interested in these cameras, because that's another good channel there to check out and learn more about the Eufy Cam cameras. Does the solar claim to keep the device charged without needing to plug them in? Asked Luke. I mean, I'm not sure if I understand the question. Yeah, I mean, I think the idea of the solar panels is that you never have to plug them in, if that's the question. But yeah, you should not have to plug them in or take them down to charge them when you're using solar, as far as I understand. Oh, Alex said, okay, correction there. That was Eric's video, not George's, but that's okay. We've got a few to check out. It's always nice to get different opinions on products and stuff, new stuff like that. I think that's what's great. One of the great things about YouTube and watching different creators, often, I guess, talk about the same things. It's really cool to see different opinions, I think. George says the spotlight was best, or the color night vision was best using the spotlight. Yeah, let's check out the prices on these. What are the prices? I think it's like around $500 for the set, right? Let's see. So I guess you can buy, here's the Eufy Cam S3 Pro. $549. True, yeah, that ain't cheap. But I guess you can start with this and then add on additional cameras. I wonder if there's a limit to the number of cameras you can add to HomeKit through the base. I remember that was an issue. I think it was like limited to 4 on the Eufy Homebase 2. So I wonder if they have a limit on the number of cameras you can expose to HomeKit. I think you can add like up to 16 cameras, at least with the old Homebase, to the base, but you can only expose like 4 of those to HomeKit. It was kind of weird, so I wonder if that's still the case. Yeah, too bad UniFi doesn't have a native HomeKit integration. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, so another thing, I saw there was a question here too regarding a smart display. Hollis says, what would we want in a smart display that we couldn't get with a tablet? So curious to hear you guys, your thoughts on this. Feel free to jump in the chat and chime in on this. But on that note, one of the things was going to discuss today is, you guys, if you watch me before, you know probably how I feel about rumors. I don't like to spend a whole lot of time on rumors, because they're just never ending with Apple stuff. You know, it's like as soon as we have an iPhone, we're already talking about, sometimes even before the new one, we're talking about the next generation. Anyways, there's been rumors for a HomePod with a screen of some sort for literally years now. Again, I don't get too worked up over rumors because they can last forever. And in this case, years, and we still have not seen the rumored product. But with that said, I did want to share this because there seems to be some developments that have come out. So the long-awaited home accessory, so that this was kind of found in the coding by some developers here and there over the past few years. So it could have a square display. Let's just dive into this a little bit here. So according to reliable sources familiar with the matter, the leaked home accessory is indeed Apple's new home accessory. It will be powered by the A18 chip, presumably to support Apple Intelligence features, which of course is not available on current HomePod. So that is pretty exciting. I hope that's true. To get Apple Intelligence on some sort of home display or HomePod of some sort would be really nice. They do say here, interestingly, that in its current state, it has a squarish display, which, again, that sounds kind of interesting. So that may or may not stay or be the final kind of aspect ratio. And They say in here, just like Apple TV, the home accessory can run apps and play media on its own, but it'll also work as an AirPlay receiver. It features a customizable lock screen with multiple clock faces, similar to those used, those just added to the Apple TV with tvOS 18. That's pretty interesting. So I didn't even think about like a home display type of thing when we got those clock displays on the Apple TV, you know, that we just got with iOS 18 or tvOS 18. I really like those. I've been using those in my living room with the clock, and it uses like portrait photos and puts a clock in there. Really cool, but it definitely makes even more sense for like a home tablet of some sort, probably even more so than TV. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. But they say in here, I think they said it's expected in I thought I saw a time frame. Oh, sorry, I'm over here rambling. Here's some of the portraits like that. Yeah, that definitely makes more sense for a home tablet display of some sort. Sources say the launch of the new product should be spring of 2025, but of course things may change, so who actually knows if or when it'll come. But it does look like there's more stuff in the news and they're finding out more about this. Hopefully all this is true. Apple Intelligence sounds really nice on this. What do you guys think? I know a lot of people are interested. Would you buy one of these Apple displays? Apple home display? What are we going to call it? George, my man, George, thank you so much, George. George just gifted 10 memberships. Man, thank you so much. Very kind of you, George, for gifting 10 memberships. So Tika, Luke, Don, LT, Bama, Kevin, you guys were all gifted memberships. Rob, Etoine, sorry if I'm butchering your names. I shouldn't even try this. I'm so bad at names. Adrian, Joseph, all you guys. Aaron Schwartz, what's up? Aaron in the house. You guys were all gifted memberships thanks to George. Thank you so much, George, for doing that. And I meant to mention this in the beginning too. I forgot, but as a channel member, you get access to our member Discord server, also early access to new videos before other people get to see them. We do a monthly video hangout over on Discord, again, once a month, and that is today. So if you're a channel member, I see we got a lot of channel members here, I'll be over in Discord this evening after the live stream, about 30 minutes after we end this live stream, and we'll do a video hangout. So you can come hang out, you can share your screen or your camera or whatever if you want, but we just hang out and talk more about smart home stuff, and it's a little more intimate. You guys can ask questions and just kind of chat for a little while. So that is this afternoon. Check Discord for times and all that good stuff. But you do have access to that, and all you new members who just were gifted a membership can access that as well. So check that out if you're interested. Oh, nice. Mill, dude, thank you. Mill says, I was gifted a membership and re-upped. Discord is magnificent. So good to hear that. That's awesome. So Mill was gifted a membership during one of these streams. I guess found enough value in the Discord to renew that membership and hang out with us a little bit more over there on Discord. Thank you so much. I'm glad you have enjoyed the membership. That's really cool. Cool to hear. Oh, nice. Vito D finally joined the other day. New member. Awesome. Thank you, Vito. And I should say, too, the little gold star, if you can see that right next to the name on screen, I guess for you guys, it's right down there. Those are channel members. So everybody with the gold star is a channel member. Tony, looks like Nanoleaf has come out with permanent outdoor lights, copying Govi, but with some features for mounting, which look pretty great. Have you seen it? I have seen it. And I'm looking around because somewhere in this room, I've got a box of them. I have seen them. Let's pull them up real quick. So these have been announced a while, I guess back at CES. These were originally announced. Nanoleaf has just come out with quite a few products recently. Share my screen. Oh. All right, can you hear me now? Okay, there we go. So see, they've got little new icons. They've had a lot of new products recently, which is kind of cool to see. But let's see, what are we looking for? The permanent outdoor lights right here. Yeah, so what's kind of unique about these is this little mounting system. So I know some people, actually somebody was talking about this in our Discord server not that long ago, was talking about kind of doing a DIY version of this, like a channel to kind of hide the wire a little bit better for the Govee lights. Nanoleaf has kind of thought of that, and they've given you everything you need for that. So that's kind of cool. Again, I have a set of these, but I have not installed them. I just reinstalled the new version of the Govee ones all over the front of my house. So I really don't want to redo that, but I think I'm going to try to get these installed maybe at a friend's house. Here, let me see. Can you see that? Look how those look. Oh, let's wait for that video to roll back around. But yeah, you can see right there. They kind of, I guess they look better than the wire. You know, if that's something that you're into, could be a reason to go for those. About Nanoleaf, I've read that Nanoleaf is backtracking a little on Thread and prefers Matter over Wi-Fi. Any news on this? What's up, PamaKit, by the way? I don't know if they're like backtracking on Thread. So there was an interview, I think it was on the HomeKit Insider podcast, where they had Jimmy Chu on there, who's the CEO from Nanoleaf. And he was, I think it was there that I heard this. And he was saying that, was it there? I don't know. Or maybe it was in their live stream. I don't know. It was somewhere where he was saying that they're not doing away with their Thread products or their Matter over Thread products, but they're given options. So they now have like the Wi-Fi, which I also have one of those somewhere too. They have a Wi-Fi Matter over Wi-Fi light strip, as well as Matter over Wi-Fi smart bulbs now, whereas before those were all Thread products, and some of their newer stuff like these, the permanent outdoor lights, the outdoor string lights, those are all Wi-Fi. So I don't know. It's interesting. On that note, so again, I don't know if they're backtracking. From what he says, they're going to be doing both, but it does seem like maybe for whatever reason it's easier, or I don't know if it's easier to implement, cheaper, or what for them to do Wi-Fi, but it does seem like a lot of their newer essentials products are supporting Wi-Fi instead of Thread. I don't know. I don't really know what that means. But on that note, Netatmo, this is the headline here, says goodbye to Matter, Nanoleaf throws out Thread. So they announced that they were going to do some Thread sensors quite a while ago. And this article is basically just saying that they've decided not to. But if you kind of read on, it says in here, kind of towards the end, I think, that basically they are... Oh, there's the new Sense Plus switch. So looking forward to that. And see, that is Matter over Thread. So back to Nanoleaf there. That so they're not completely getting away from their Thread stuff. So, but yeah, I was looking for. So I guess that's what they're saying here. Nanoleaf is breaking away from Thread. I don't know that that's really how I would put it, but Netatmo is basically saying that they're waiting for Thread, or not Thread. You got to differentiate Thread from Matter, I think. Netatmo saying they're waiting for Matter to kind of mature a little bit. It sounds like they're still involved in the CSA and like the development of Matter and everything as a company. So I don't think they're like abandoning it completely. They just want it to mature a little bit. And it kind of makes sense. Like a lot of the problem with Netatmo is that they came out a while ago and said, we're going to release these Thread products. And they never did. And now I guess they're saying something about it. Whereas other companies, I mean, if you think about like Lutron's a good example of one. There's a number of other brands out there that support all the smart home ecosystems. Again, Lutron's a great example. They don't really need to support Matter necessarily because it kind of works with everything already. And I don't think that Lutron is never going to support Matter or work with Matter. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they would be committed to doing that, but they just haven't made any announcements. They're definitely waiting on Matter to mature because they want to make sure everything works well. And I think that may be partly what's happened with Nanoleaf as well. You know, they've had a lot of people complaining or having issues because of Thread, and there's just so many factors that go into it, and it's kind of confusing, I think, for some people. And, you know, it seems to me that people either love or hate the Thread stuff, the Nanoleaf Thread stuff. So it's kind of, you know, there's not much in between, it seems like, for me. George says Netatmo has always been sketch. Yeah, I used one of their cameras a long time ago. I don't know if George knows something I don't know. The only thing that I've considered sketch with them is that they would make these announcements. You know, I think it was like the doorbell. Was it the doorbell camera years ago, and it took them like 2 years to release it, stuff like that. But you know, Connor says Netatmo and Legrand are not good to their customers, mostly want to work with installers. Interesting. I didn't know that especially about Netatmo. Netatmo seems to be more of a European-based company. I don't hear about them as much. I don't feel like over here as I think those of you in Europe do. Oh, not much love for Netatmo in the chat today. Let me see if we got some more questions to flag. Lawrence says, I've had better luck with other brands like MooJoy over Nanoleaf. I haven't used any of the MooJoy bulbs, but other Thread devices are hit and misses. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Yeah, I think it depends more on the brand, you know, and of course there's just so many factors when it comes to like Thread and Matter. I think that is a big part of the issue a lot of these customers are seeing, which, you know, a lot of the support teams are hearing about because of just network issues and other things that may be causing the problems. But yeah, at the end of the day, I agree. A lot of it does come down to the brand, and some are just hit or miss, you know. Yeah, Craig says, I wish Eve would add more to their product line. With that said, I'm glad you reminded me. I'm kind of all over the place today. Forgive me. Like I said, I'm tired. It's been a long week. I've been haven't slept much this week, but appreciate y'all hanging out and bearing with me. Yes, I meant to say this earlier. Speaking of Eve, they do offer quite a few products. Yeah, I'm curious. Also, I see Frederick said, what would you like to see them come out with? I'm curious too. They have a good range of products. And see, Eve is a good example, in my opinion, of somebody who's doing Thread right. Their Thread products, in my opinion, have been great. They got motion sensor, door sensors. They got the Eve flare back there, one of my favorite little lights. Let's see, the light switch, the smart plugs, the outlet, all those support Eve. Alex, calm down, buddy. We're not doing a giveaway today. We did do a bunch of giveaways all throughout September here on the stream, but not today. I'm all out. I'm all out. Yeah, I do want to say that I have a discount code down in the description. So if you are interested in any of the Eve stuff, you can, there's a discount code below. So they their Eve light switch is the recent one to get updated to support Matter. They're now selling, well, the Eve flare. It's the same Eve flare, but if you buy one now, you get that cool little Jacko flare sticker is what they're calling it. But it's a little sticker you put on the Eve to make it look like a Halloween pumpkin, you know, jack-o'-lantern, which is pretty cool. You know, while supplies last. And again, I have a 15% discount that's good through October 6th. It's down in the description. If you want to get any of the Eve stuff, you can use that discount code. There's some other discount codes down there too that I have that I just share with you guys whenever I have a Tailwind garage door opener. That's the one I recommend. I have a 10% off coupon down in the description for that. Innovelli, those light switches, they sell thread light switch, matter over thread light switches. They have Zigbee light switches, Z-Wave. I have a 5% off code for your entire order, also down in the description today. And speaking of deals and discounts and all that stuff, yeah, I agree with you, Eric, there. We need more smart switches with smart bulb mode like the Innovelli White. Yep, I love it. I did a video on that too if you guys want to see that, but that's what I was talking about. We have a discount code down in the description for the Innovelli stuff. I love the smart bulb mode because I'm able to use it with my smart lights. Like I have Nanoleaf ceiling lights up there, and a normal switch, or even most smart switches, if you toggle it off, would just kill the connection to that, but Innovelli has that smart bulb mode. Anyways, I digress. Speaking of deals, Amazon's, they're doing a fall Prime Day, so if you didn't know about this already, that's coming up next week. So let's see, October 8th and 9th, that's next Tuesday and Wednesday. So basically a week from today, there's going to be another Prime Day event. It's called, I don't know what they're calling it, but it's basically an October fall Prime Day on Amazon where everything's going to be on sale. Excuse me. So what I'll do again is I'll try to consolidate all of the Apple Home and Matter smart home stuff, you know, that's relevant to like what we talk about here on this channel, you know, on my blog post, on my website, you know, as well as a video and all that stuff. So stay on the lookout for that. I'll try to get all that together, discount codes and everything, just to make it easy for you guys who are building the smart home to see all those deals on products that support HomeKit specifically, or Matter. Nowadays, we have a lot of Matter stuff. I know there's going to be deals from SwitchBot, Aqara, and just a number of other ones. A lot of the usual ones, Nanoleaf. So a lot of discounts are coming for that fall Prime Day. So if you're thinking about getting something, I would probably hold off at least for that to see what all goes on sale. HomeKit Techie, what's going on? Glad you could make it. HomeKit Techie in the house. Reading through the comments here. All right, let me get to some of these questions. If you have a question, go ahead and put that in the chat and preface your comment with the word question. Oh yeah, Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence says we need to call out Apple for not being up to date on Matter versions. Matter 1.3 is 6 months old, and we just got Matter 1.2, which is a year old in HomeKit. Like we just got that. So I had an air purifier. I think I talked about it last week on the stream. The air purifier that until iOS 18 came around, I couldn't even use it in HomeKit because it supports Matter. But yeah, you're right. They're definitely behind. I think Home Assistant just updated to Matter 1.3, if I'm not mistaken. Don't fact check me on that, but I think they did just update that. So yeah, Apple's a little behind on those. All right, questions. Chris, thank you for your patience. Chris, if you're still around, I've been saving these questions here. So let's get to these. Chris says, any new or good HomeKit alarms? I want to switch from my Ring to something else if there's better out there. So if you haven't already, I would check out my video that I made not too long ago on the ecobee security system just to see kind of what's out there. I think it's an option, I'll say. I don't think it's the best option if you want full HomeKit support or HomeKit functionality out of your security system. But you know, the thermostats support HomeKit, the sensors support HomeKit, so there is some overlap there. But I would probably check that out just to see kind of what's available in terms of Ecobee. I kind of look at for HomeKit support and security systems, Ecobee, even though the security system doesn't really support HomeKit, and Abode. Abode is what I've been using, and I'm pretty much going back to Abode on this. It's not new. It's been around. I've been using Abode for years, and I mean, it's just, I don't know why we don't see more security systems out there for HomeKit. I really don't know, but this is the one. I've been using this one right here actually for years. I will say, if you do go this route, just kind of look closely at what you're getting, because not all the Abode stuff supports HomeKit. Like their cameras, like these cameras right here, don't support HomeKit. I don't think the lock supports HomeKit either, but the security systems do. These two right here do. This one does not. So if I was gonna start over, I would probably get this one right here, the Smart Security Kit, and not this one. The big difference is this one has a camera built into it. This one doesn't. The camera in this one is not really that good, and chances are wherever you put your little Abode hub is not really where you need a camera anyways. So I would go with this one, which I think is probably going to be a little bit cheaper, and just use it for the security system. You can get the sensors. They've got a ton of sensors that support HomeKit. The little key fob even supports HomeKit. Like you can get the buttons to work in HomeKit. The keypad right there has two buttons that are programmable, that support HomeKit. So that's my go-to. Again, it's just not many options, but that one has a lot of features. There's cellular backup. There's professional monitoring that you can get if you want to buy into their subscriptions, but you don't have to. You can also do self-monitoring, and there's battery backup too on it, which is really nice. So a lot to like, I think, about Abode. That's my usual go-to. Austin says, I have an Airversa purifier that doesn't like to turn off with my good morning scene. Any recommendations to help the thread reliability? Well, the only thing I can say, I mean, if you think it's your thread issue, if you think it's a thread network issue or connection issue, maybe you don't have a good enough connection to your closest thread router, or your thread mesh network is not that strong. The best thing you can do is probably add a thread router device in between, maybe your thread border router and your Airversa, if you think that's what the problem might be, which it sounds like that might be the case. Something like Eve Smart Plug, the Eve Energy plug, you can do that. You can put that in between, your border router and your Airversa, and the border and the smart plug will it will extend your thread network basically. So a lot of devices that have kind of constant power, like a smart plug will. I think the Onvis thread smart plug will probably do the same thing. But yeah, something like that might be worth giving a shot if you think that's what the issue is. Yeah, the Eufy E30 lock, I have seen that. Ben, pull it up right quick. Eufy, what is it? The E30. So initially I was really interested in this again because I think this is Eufy's first Matter product. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but I want to say this is Eufy's first Matter product. And so that means it works with, Apple Home support. You see it right there. The only thing is that this one, I guess disappointing, is it doesn't look like this supports Apple Home Key, but it does have a fingerprint scanner. It has the keypad and HomeKit support, so you can get notifications. You can control it there in the Home app, but doesn't look like it has Home Key support. So looks like it could be a good option if you don't really care about Home Key. But yeah, I mean, it's just nice to see Matter products, so I'm happy about that. Home Key support would have been nice, so that would have definitely made it, in my opinion, something to check out. Connor says COB. I see you guys talking about light strips there in the chat. Yeah, I'd like to check out the new Gobi COB light strips. I haven't had a chance to check that one out in person yet. The Topo combined lock and doorbell cam show back up. That has not been released yet. I think they've had it on their website, but yeah, I don't think that's been released. I think they said it was going to be Q4 of this year. They said that way back in like January of this year, so I'm not sure where they stand on that. Oh, George is working on a lock for the E30. All right, so there you go. Those of you guys who are curious about the Eufy E30, go subscribe to George Langerbeer's channel. That'll be coming soon. I've done so many smart locks this year. I mean, it's like every time I turn around, there's just another smart lock. I'm not complaining because that's kind of awesome, you know, considering just like a year ago, there was like 2 locks that supported HomeKit, home keys especially, but HomeKit, especially with home key, there's only like 2 locks forever. So I'm really excited and happy to see so many HomeKit locks, and we got Matter locks now. We got Matter locks that support home key. It's been great, but man, this has been like the year of HomeKit locks. I feel like. Yeah, right. And then next year we're gonna start all over again because we're gonna have UWB locks. Yeah, that's a good point. Larry said last Saturday Craig on YouTube said something about you might know about a new lock coming out, a smart lock from Aqara #. Yeah, we talked about that last week, Larry. I don't know where I can find that. Aqara. I'm trying to see if I can find like the little demo or the little teaser that they posted. Here you go. So they posted this little teaser on like Instagram and everything. Right there, and it says launch October 3rd. That is tomorrow. That's tomorrow. So this right here, I mean, it's pretty obvious. This is the U300, which is this lock right here, and that's tomorrow. So you guys can expect that tomorrow, according to Aqara's little teaser right there. So that's probably what that's probably what Craig was talking about. The Lockley Visage, I'm not sure how to say it still. Yeah, that's an interesting looking lock. I'm kind of curious. I might have to try that one out myself. Ooh, 3 months. CES is 3 months away. That's right. I'm excited. Even UWB can't beat Lockley Visage because you don't need your phone or your watch, just your face. That's true. That's true. We talked about this, Eric, I think was it a couple weeks ago on the stream where I was asking about if the lock if you have to like bend over for it to scan your face and stuff like that, because I'm very skeptical. Like I need to try one of these locks. So Lockley, if you're listening, hook me up. I need to try one of these because I'm skeptical that it will work for me. I have a lot of stairs that lead up to my front door. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe because of that, it would scan my face well. But after we talked on the live stream the other week, I had pulled up some footage of me like from my doorbell camera, and like I don't know what's wrong with me, but sometimes I'm just like hyperactive, I guess, and I'm just like all over the place. Maybe I forget something, I'm running in. I run up those stairs so fast, and then like I'm skipping stairs, and they're like a little 10-year-old, and I'm at my door, and I think to myself, there's no way that a camera would be able to scan my face that quickly and unlock the door. But I could be wrong. But I'm skeptical. I really want to try it. I know you said it's worked well for you, so but I want to try. I want to try skipping up the stairs and see if it catches me. 6'2", and you don't need to bend over. Yeah, I know you say it. I do believe you. Don't get me wrong. I do believe you. I'm really curious about it. I want to try it. I might have to get me one of these. I keep saying it. I think my wife is actually ready for a new lock on the front door, so maybe that'll be the one. Oh, Connor says tried face scanning with UniFi Protect and it works. Nice. I mean, technology I guess is pretty amazing. So it's I guess it shouldn't surprise me that stuff like that can work nowadays. A short or a reel of your doorbell antics. All right. We'll see what we can do about that. All right, let's see. I think we got some more questions over here. Thank you if you've been sticking around waiting for your question. I appreciate you guys and your patience during all my rambling. Paige says, has anyone successfully added Eufy permanent outdoor lights E120 to HomeKit via HomeBridge? I guess I'll leave that question out there for you guys. If you have, jump in the chat. I have not. I've never used the HomeBridge plugin for Eufy, so I don't, and I haven't used those permanent outdoor lights either. I mean, if I could choose, I would just get permanent outdoor lights that support Matter if HomeKit is a priority. It's probably too late already for you, Paige, I know, but you got the Nanoleaf ones now that support Matter, and then you've got the Govee ones, a few different versions from Govee that support Matter, and it's just nice to have the native integration, but yeah, I'm not sure about the Eufy plugin on those. Let's see, we did that question. Greenier, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, says if Nanoleaf doesn't go away from Matter over Thread, why all their new products support Matter over Wi-Fi? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I've heard, what he has said. He said he's not doing away with their Thread products. So they're going to they're going to offer both Matter over Wi-Fi and Matter over Thread as far as like their essentials bulbs and light strips. But I mean, that's all I got. I don't know. I don't know. I would be surprised if they went completely away from it because they were one of the first companies, if not the first company, to have Thread before even Matter was really a thing. It was their Thread HomeKit over Thread light bulbs. So I'd be surprised if they went away from it completely. But I mean, I don't know. It's possible. And like I said, their Sense Plus I think supports Thread too. Mark, are you going to give an update on your Home Assistant journey? Yes, I am. I've been thinking about this a good bit lately. I think it's probably time to release a video on this. I know I get asked about it every couple weeks, it seems like, here in the chat. I've been trying to really just give myself enough time to play around with it and stuff. Of course, like I said, lately we've been really busy, so I haven't been able to do a whole lot with it. But yeah, I mean, I am enjoying it for the most part. There's some things that I might miss from, like I used Homey Pro for a while. There's some things I miss from Homey Pro, but all in all, it's been pretty great. I do really like it. I want to dial in a bunch of things still. I've been like working on a dashboard, for my wall-mounted iPad. So now it's a very basic, dashboard for Home Assistant. Compared to you advanced Home Assistant users out there. But I got a very basic dashboard created in Home Assistant for my wall-mounted iPad that I've been using for a while. And that's been really nice. I do need to update it and kind of add some things. So I've just been kind of living with it a little bit and messing around with it. I also been keeping Home Assistant up on my computer while I'm working a lot and kind of interfacing with it that way. And I do like it a lot. Like I said, I need to fine tune and dial in a lot of things, but stay tuned for that video. I think probably in the next month or so, I will just get all my thoughts out there in, a long form video format for YouTube, and should be fun. I'm curious to see how that video is received since it's not really HomeKit. I mean, I will definitely tie in HomeKit because that's still the primary I don't know if I should say driving force, maybe the primary interface for my smart home, since everybody in my house uses Apple Home, HomeKit. But yeah, kind of moving some of the back end, I guess that would be the driving force for from automations and stuff into Home Assistant. And I've just been testing out some automations and stuff and putting them into Home Assistant rather than HomeKit, just to kind of see, you know, how it goes. So that's a little update there on my Home Assistant journey. Yes. I'll say, look, Trent, yes. Vito says, looking forward to that video. Oh, I hear my dog running up the stairs. She's going to be beating at my door here in a second. Is Homey supporting Matter 1.3 yet? That's a good question. I'm not sure if Homey is. I would have to look into that. I am not sure. Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. Yes, thank you, Frederick. Yes, that's true. There is a video suggestion channel on the member-only Discord server. Be sure to post that there. That's true. You can do that. Got the bug now for Home Assistant. Yeah, I mean, I like most things. Yeah, it's not for everybody. It's not for, I'll put it that way. But I do enjoy some of the things you can do with it. Probably another reason why I've lost some sleep is because I've been messing with a Home Assistant too many nights. But I haven't really done that here in the last, probably the last 2 weeks. I haven't messed around with much of that. Jeff says, I just moved my 3 Raspberry Pis to my home server rack. Great little 2U holder. Oh, nice. Random question. I see with your stereo HomePods, home theater, can you control that volume with a routine in HomeKit or with your phone? Yeah, you can. Well, you can. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that just like any HomePod. Let's see. I think we got a couple of older questions. I'm gonna try to get to these real quick. Alex says, you mentioned that you will try the UniFi cameras. Is there a way to expose them to HomeKit? Absolutely. Yeah, you can use scripted. I would probably use scripted. That's what I've been using to expose all my PoE cameras to HomeKit. I did a video talking about that a long time ago. It's either either scripted or Homebridge are probably the two methods that I would look into. I'm not sure where Home Assistant falls in there. Maybe there's some way to use Home Assistant for that too. But scripted is what I've been using, so I would probably start there. But I still have not tried any of the UniFi cameras. But you definitely can get those into HomeKit. I know a lot of people have done that. It's just not a native integration. So Bob says, any experience or thoughts on the Dreame Tech X40? Let's see. I have not tried this one yet. Let me pull it up. But I will say that I plan to very soon because they reached out to me and they wanted to send me a unit to try out. So stay tuned, I'll say. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on and all that stuff. Maybe follow me on Instagram. I don't know that I'm probably not going to make a full video on this guy. At least I don't have plans to right now. But I will probably release some short form stuff. Golly, all the pop-ups. Man, you can't even look at a website anymore without 1,000 pop-ups getting in the way. But it looks like a pretty awesome robot vacuum. It's a very expensive robot vacuum mop. So, you know, we will see. I would hope at that price range, it would be pretty amazing. I've really been enjoying the Narwhal Frio Z lately, which is on, I guess it's still pre-order right now. So it'll be interesting to kind of compare this one. I was planning on having this thing all set up and ready to go by now, again, with the recent hurricane and stuff that we've had. slowing everything down, production, and just a lot of our schedule has been kind of screwed up the past week or so. I haven't been able to get that done. But yeah, this is one that I'm looking at. I'm curious to try it out. So follow along. I'll probably do, short video on that, and definitely come back in a future live stream and, ask me on my update, because I'll tell you straight up how I feel about it here in these live streams. Yeah, I need to do that. You're right. You're absolutely right, Keenan. Thank you. I need to set that up. I'm actually not using Safari during my live. I use Safari 98% of the time. The only time I don't use Safari is when I'm live streaming, just because YouTube, owned by Google and Chrome and all that stuff, I feel like works better with when you're live streaming. I need as little issues as possible. So I actually use Chrome when I'm live streaming, but yeah, my that's a good question. I didn't really even think about that. Yeah, my string lights are still up, but my fence did not make it. So my string lights lasted better than my fence. Speaking of Hurricane Helene, yeah, my fence, and it wasn't, there was no tree. That I had a few friends who had trees fall over and destroy their fences and stuff. It was, in our case, it wasn't a tree. It was just the high winds, and the fence probably needed a little repair anyways. But yeah, the fence was destroyed in a couple places in my yard, but my lights are still up, so that's a good thing. All right, guys. On that note, we have a member chat coming up very soon today. So again, first Wednesday of each month we do this. Hop over there to Discord. If you're a channel member, it will be in about 30 minutes. I'll be over there and chatting. We'll do some more talking here about smart home and whatever you guys want to talk about over there. It's always a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out today, for supporting the channel. I always enjoy these live streams. It's great to get on here and chat with you guys. Also, follow me over on Instagram, YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff if you haven't already. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great week, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.